In the first 18 months of running my photography business, I made about $50,000. In the next 3 months, I made another $50,000. How did I go from making $50K in 18 months to making another $50K in just 3? I'm teaching you how I went from a broke photographer to making well over 6 figures. If you struggle making enough money to support yourself and you want more freedom, this video is the answer. I'll be walking through the strategies I began implementing inside my own business that allowed me to have this massive shift in revenue. What I'm about to tell you will sound simple, but don't be fooled. It's not easy to do. But with the right tools and mindset, you too can experience a huge jump in revenue inside your photography business. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chris Pietta. I teach creative business and run a product photography company. Okay, so I made some pretty bold claims in the beginning of this video. While this may seem like I just had a lucky 3-month stretch, I can tell you the following 3 months, I also made over $50,000. So for those keeping track at home, that's 100 grand in 6 months. Now, I'm not telling you these numbers to brag. My goal here is transparency. My goal is to let you see what's actually possible in this industry. Some people will hear me say these numbers and be skeptical. Others will be envious. And a select few people will be inspired. The inspired people will realize what is actually possible, because if I can do it, an ordinary guy who's no smarter than you, then there's no reason why you can't do it as well. So how do we do it? A lot of people have this limiting belief that photographers don't make much money, and most photographers don't. If you want to have these types of numbers inside your business, you need to know how to operate a business. And not just that, you need to know how to operate a business using systems. A systematic approach to running a business allows you to free up your time to do higher level tasks that in turn make you more money. But first, let's rewind the clock and really understand why I was a broke photographer. I made a lot of mistakes when I started my photography business. At first, I didn't even think I was a business. I just thought I was a dude with a camera. People were going to hire Chris Pietta to take their photos. I was thinking like a freelancer, which was my first mistake. I had to start thinking like a business. Over those first 18 months of doing this full time, I made mistake after mistake after mistake, but luckily I learned from them. Some were simple mistakes, others had a bigger impact on my business. But the important thing is that I learned from every single mistake that I made. Now, this next mistake is one that I talk about a lot on this channel. I didn't have a clear niche. At the time, I was offering lifestyle photos, product photos, headshots, and I even had prints for sale on my website. When a potential client saw my website, they saw this photographer with no clear focus. They couldn't picture me solving their content needs. If they were a coffee company, they went to my website and maybe saw 1 or 2 product shots, but then they saw a bunch of other random photos that had nothing to do with their business. This was not the way to get clients. It took me some time to actually realize this. I thought by niching down, I was eliminating thousands of potential clients. And while that is true, those clients would have never worked with me anyways because I was a generalist, not a specialist. After I niched down, I realized I was pricing everything wrong. Sure, I wasn't pricing hourly, so at least I had that right, but the projects that I was selling, they were tiny. Those were small budget shoots. Over time, I built up my offer through trial and error. I saw what people wanted and what they didn't. I saw what people were willing to pay me. I got more confident in my pitching. I created a dream offer, an offer so good that clients couldn't say no. This is something that most photographers overlook. They think that they're selling pretty pictures when in fact, that's just a small piece of the puzzle. Creating a good, compelling offer is so important in this industry. At one point, I think I spent around a month straight just creating my offer. I read books, talked to clients, and I figured out what a good offer meant. Clearly, my hard work paid off because my revenue numbers speak for themselves. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to talk more about how you can create an amazing offer too, an offer you can sell for thousands. More on that in a little bit. Okay, so I had the niche, I had the pricing and the offer, but where were the clients? I've talked about cold email a lot on this channel. It's actually the main way that I've worked with over 50 brands in just under 2 years. But it's not as simple as just sending emails. I was missing 2 things: good copy inside of my emails and emailing the right people. Okay, what is good copy? Copy is just an advertising term for text. It's the text that I had inside of my cold emails. Now, I've sent thousands of cold emails since starting my business, so I've learned a thing or two about good copy. Over time, I've perfected my email copy so I can get a lot more responses. But even with the best copy, there's one more piece of the puzzle. It's emailing the right people. If you email the support email address at a company, that person isn't going to respond to you. But if you email a decision maker, then you're on the right track. Now, it's not easy to find these decision makers, but luckily over the past few years, I've come up with a super easy method that makes it simple to find these decision makers. More on that in a little bit. Okay, so I combined a great niche, a dream offer with great pricing, and sending the perfect emails to the right people, and the results, they were crazy. It was a snowball effect. The more success I had, the easier the next client came. This was many, many months of making mistakes, fixing them, making mistakes, fixing them, and slowly growing. 18 months of making very little progress, and then the next 6 months making 6 figures. That's crazy, but I wasn't surprised. Now, you have two options. You can follow the same path I did. You spend the next 6 to 18 months trying to learn how to do this stuff yourself through your own experiences. You can watch all of my YouTube videos and then go out in the world and make mistakes and learn from them. But if you want to shortcut this 6 to 18 month journey and not waste all that time, if you don't want to make the mistakes that I did, and if you want the freedom to grow your business, quit your 9-to-5, and scale to 6 figures, then I have the solution for you. I'm talking about Creative Biz Launch. I've never worked on something so hard in my life. I'm super excited to share this with you.